if, I get a phone call from WodeMaya's that, he's very busy today, so I should step in for him. But I thank God I came because this is a beautiful audience and I've learned so much from this man. Now, in the age of the internet, there are a few things that you have to do. In fact, Aristotle said that the purpose of knowledge is action, not more knowledge. In fact, there are some people who hear all the message, but they take no action. And you can go to all the seminars, you can do whatever you want to do. They can put you in the library, one computer to myself, and do whatever I wanted to do. I got hooked, got to church, and then I found myself a mentor, Ernest, and he's been my mentor up until today. He's one of the senior people who worked for Amazon AWS. Now, during the times that I was with him, he taught me how to code. He taught me how to do YouTube. He taught me WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, and I created websites. The first website I created was hiplifelovers.com. At the time, it was rivaling with Abdah, Chris Vincent, Ghana celebrities, Big X, and it did marvelous. I did that myself, simply by being an autodidact, learning from Mentorship, doing everything that I could to code and put that website up. That was how I used to take care of my siblings that I left here. I didn't stop there. Now we're speaking about multiple streams of income. I could see that this little internet, this small computer can create opportunities for me and my family. So I moved on to the next step, which is, can we learn how to fix computers so that we can provide our services for people? So I went back to my mentor and I said, can you teach me how computer hardware works? He taught me, and I did that, and I created flyers. And if you live, anywhere outside of this country, in Europe and US, other parts, you see that there's a block of flats. So I created flyers, go into the apartment and then drop everything in there. That's where I got my first customer, Chance Delgado, a Caucasian lady who loved to work with me. And she paid me per hour, 17 pounds. A 17-year-old boy, 17 pounds, that was fantastic. And that supported my family yet again. Now, fast forward, I've got all these skills. It didn't stop there. I moved on to magnifying the things I was doing on YouTube. At the time, this was the early stages of YouTube. I had streaming accounts, I had Daily Motion accounts, I had Vimeo accounts, where I was just putting several things on there. Now, what all of these things taught me was that it gave me the skills that I'm using today. Fast forward, I finished pharmacy school, met my business partner in 2013, University of Kent. We sat in the car and I told him that, bro, I want to start a business. And he goes, do what? We're pharmacists. And I said, we're going to start a business that is going to be based on the internet because of my love for the internet. So we created our first telehealth business over 10 years ago. Very quickly, every skill that I learned when I was young, when my mentor was teaching me, that is how I was able to take my business from 0 to millions. That's the power of being an autodidact, learning for yourself and applying the things that you learn. Okay. If you remember, there's a company that was called AOL. Has anybody heard of that company, AOL? If a company decides to not innovate, they die. AOL was powerful those days. In fact, next month, Skype is going away as well. Most of these companies have not innovated. They have not understood that this whole internet thing, this whole information stuff, it works with innovation and critical thinking. So if you have a business here today, and you don't have a team that thinks for your business, that innovates for your business, you're going to lose that business at some point. Because the young cats that are coming out of university, they're thinking rapidly on how they can take over businesses and make people's life a lot easier, more convenient, and provide better services for them. If you create a business today, it's no longer about service, it's about experience. Now, I remember the first hotel you went to. Do you remember the room or the service? Do you remember the experience or the room? Do you remember the room or the service? Now, when someone makes you feel good, if you have a customer that walks into your shop or calls you on the phone and you pick up the phone, hi, my name is this, how can I help you? They feel warmth. We don't tend to get that a lot here. Now, this is something I talk about on my podcast a lot. Because if a business doesn't have experience-based customer service, they don't have enough customer retention. And if you want to remain in that business and retain customers repeatedly, it will cost you to acquire that customer. But to retain that customer, you need to give them an experience. If you missed affiliate marketing, which I did, affiliate marketing was, pretty nice for me. You missed dropshipping. Dropshipping is either you do dropshipping offline or online, and then I can teach you exactly how you can do offline dropshipping. So let's go to Accra or China Mall. Pick up 20 products that you like. Don't buy it. Use your phone, take pictures, record videos, create a TikTok account, and start putting the products on there. You know exactly how much they sell it in China Mall or Accra. If people buy that product, go quickly, go pick up that product and come and sell it. If you do that for 6 months, you will have enough following and you would have amassed enough customers for any business that you want to do. Most people, the way they do it is that they start a business online. If it starts working, then they create a shop front. Today, it's not necessary to have a shop front. You can do everything online. Ali Abdah earns £10 million every single year from his YouTube account. Not just the YouTube, he's created courses around it. He has a mastermind group. Now, if we're really trying to understand the whole new age of making money, we need to tap into the internet. We need to tap into the easier way of doing it. And the easiest way is that you create content. And the money you can make from creating content, creating courses is more than what you can make from a product. Because think about it. If I create a course today, like what we do in Konnected Academy, that course was created in 1 day. However, you pay for it, it will be there till eternity. Until I decide that I want to change the course. So every time you pay for that course, 500 CDs you pay for it, I get paid. But I didn't pick up a product. All I needed to do was have a funnel that will push you into the course. That's all. If senior captain decides everything I know, I'm going to turn it into a course. And all the young chaps out here, if you want to learn things from him, that course is available on his website. Just get it. Even when he's gone, people will still pay for that. We've seen that many times. Jim Rohn has done it. Bob Proctor has done it. There are examples. But around here, we're behind. So if you really want to do it, let's tap into the whole information stuff. Let's tap into the whole internet and innovate and then push ourselves forward. Because you will make so much money. Money comes so fast with the internet. You will doubt. In fact, people will doubt the source of that money. Right. Now, I then moved to Ghana 6 years ago. And then I told myself, my business partner is doing well in the UK. You do everything there, and then I'll come to Ghana and replicate everything we've done in the UK in Ghana. Says, yeah, come on, let's do it. Then I saw a gap in the market. Young people need information. They need knowledge, and they need to break their limiting beliefs. Because a lot of people think, I don't want to say that way, but a lot of people don't believe that they can actually become wealthy through the legal means. Most people think a term I call the lottery mindset. I'm going to work with this man, and just by being with him, maybe, he will dash me some money, and then that will set me for life. Life doesn't work like that. Most people, that's how they think. So the whole chairman stuff is simply for them to just give them some breadcrumbs to take care of their family. But people can actually wake up and know the power they have in their hand and change their lives too. So we can have more chairmen. And the truth is, with the internet, the barrier to entry is almost nothing. All you need is data, courage, confidence to put the camera to your face and say, hey, my name is Derrick, and today I'm going to teach you how you can make money on the internet. Anyone can do it. Anyone. There was a lady whose mom used to export yams. And the woman's business was dropping a little bit. So she decided that I'm going to go on the internet and I'm going to record a video on the whole process. The orders were flying in the roof. She changed the fate of that business forever. Every customer that your business is looking for is on the phone. They're on the phone. And all you have to do is put that business in front of them, and they will patronize it as long as the service is good. That's all. So if I see businesses who don't even have content creation space, I'm saying that, look, this new age is not for you. Because every business you have that is turning over about $1 million USD must have a space that is dedicated to content creation. I'm telling you. Otherwise, you are not part of the game. In exactly 5 to 10 years, you would realize this information. Now, if you've missed all those things, there's one thing you should not miss. It's called social selling. And I'm sure you've seen it on TikTok a lot, where people put camera to your face and then they are selling shoes, they're selling that. This is just the beginning. In the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be big. All you need is a warehouse. Get a warehouse, put a lot of things there, have different content creators come in, and then they just marketing the products. You will sell so much. And these are ideas you can just execute today. When I thought about the business, the reason why I thought about the pharmacy online was because I did not have the money to go through the whole NHS system and get myself a shop front and be restricted by distance and needs assessment. No. So I said, look, Ed, we will do it through just a warehouse and do a hub and spoke model. And we made it happen. You must think different. If somebody is doing it like this, think around it. Because one of the ways that people make money is just looking at somebody's idea and then thinking around it. Because if you really deepen it, nothing is created. Nothing. Everything has been created. We just need to uncover. And that's all we're doing. God has created everything we need, and we just uncover. So if this is working, you can become a millionaire. But if this is not working, life will be a damn struggle. And I'll say the quote again. The purpose of knowledge is action, not more knowledge. My name is Derrick, Abaitey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Derrick. We'll take a few questions, so please don't leave yet. Alright, so I think I'll do just about 5. So if you want to ask, please come this way. That's 5, and each one has...
I haven't made money yet, but the money will come. It's as a result of the work that you do. So this is not my first stream of income. So don't try to take my approach. It may not work. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So, Mr. Derrick, my question is, we live in a society where it is very difficult for people to understand that you cannot make it whilst you are young. Or they even think that sometimes you are being sacred. How do you handle such comments in the society? That's my question for you.
Yeah. So this was something that has happened to me several times. My neighbors somewhere around East Lemon, you know, they look at me and then they say a lot of things. I've had a time where I came out of my car and then somebody just walked and then said, we need to do, we need to. And then I turned around and then I said, good luck. You know, when you go to Dubai, you see a lot of young people, and because of the internet, they've got stacks. Here, when you have money, people look at you differently. You must have a pot belly, you know. Look, that time is gone. It's gone. A young man can have their money. My little boy, 6-year-old, has started learning how to code. And he's thinking of developing his first app. If he blows at the age of 15, so be it. It's his money. And we must allow young people to also live in positions that they want to and tell their stories.
Thank you.
My name is Derrick. I want to ask, as a young person, how do you lead your team? What is your core value? Because one of your interviewers on your podcast said that his household was stealing him. So I want to ask, how do you deal with people And my second question is to Mr. Amwabe. How can I join your community? How can I join your leadership community after here?
Okay, thank you. So there's something I wanted to say, right? I saw my stepfather going from today he was planting sugarcane. The next time it was, palm oil. Then the next time it was cocoa. And every time he moved to one business, the next one, the first one messed up. Now, the way I do it is, I've got teams in France, I've got a team in India, and I've got a team in the UK and in Ghana. So before I move to the next business, it's delegated 100%. There are systems in place to make sure that business is running successfully. Now, my approach is, in Ghana, is very simple. I will lose about 25% of my money. It's okay. But if I catch you, you are fired.
Mr. Abaitey, really say. I'm Dr. Asante, and I'm an advocate for the law of Konnected Minds. My question is very simple. I want you to speak to the issue of education and schooling. I know you're a professionally trained pharmacist, but today you are into entrepreneurship, business, coaching, leadership, and all that. But someone might be studying something far away from what he really wants to do. How do they juggle between the young people? Maybe someone is studying something different, but the person might do well with social media and new media. How did you do it, and how can they learn? Thank you so much.
So if you go through the story a little bit, you realize that because of the pain and the trauma that I went through with my siblings, there was a desire to liberate the family. So that desire is burning really hard. I keep telling them that what is chasing me is a cheetah. So it makes me move pretty fast. Now, I was never going to work. As a matter of fact, that business was born when I was working as a trainee pharmacist under my tutor. And anytime it was 6 o'clock, I got out and he's like, Charlie, you need to wait a little bit, because he was Ghanaian. You need to wait a little bit so that we can clean up. And I said, boss, I'm gone. I hated working. Look, and if the passion is in you to be an entrepreneur, which is different from a businessman, because in many parts of Africa, somebody can come together, Charlie, let's bring this container and make some quick money. That's business. As an entrepreneur, you solve problems and you get your hand dirty. If you're that person, you can make it work. So follow that passion. If it comes, follow it. You don't necessarily have to be a doctor like they wanted you to. You don't necessarily have to. But remember, if that call that is on you, that you really want to follow, the path, if it doesn't work, you'll be a radical. Right? So you need to make sure you do everything to make it work. Otherwise, they will pass you through like this. You have two types of licenses. There's distance selling, right? And there's a brick and mortar. So what I went for was distance selling. That allowed me to be anywhere in the UK and still provide service to a lot of people. I'll come there. I'll get there. Right? So that's why I went for that. I didn't really understand that. So I made a little bit of money and then I paid a lawyer to do all the work for me. That's very important when you're dealing with foreign regulators. It's very important. Now, it got to a time where regulations changed with the telehealth services. Some products that we were working on did no longer work online, and that crashed the business. What cushioned us was the other sources of income we had, which is why this conversation is very important. In Ghana, when I came to Ghana, I hired a consultant to speak to the Pharmacy Council to find out whether we can replicate the same model, telehealth services. They told us point blank, we don't have the regulations to take care of that at the moment. So I did this and just opened up brick and mortar pharmacy. Yeah. I'm sure they will get it in the future.
Connected Minds, yes. The light of our generation. That is how I call your podcast. So I'm Jamila. One thing that I've come to learn as part of my personal development journey is creating systems or leverage in terms of wealth creation. Because if you want to create wealth and without your absence, you are not making money, then the wealth creation for me does not exist, because I believe as you are standing here now, money is still entering into your account. So my question is, in terms of the social media content creation and all the internet stuff, how do you create a system whereby, with or without you, money should still be flowing into your account? Thank you very much.
Obisa AI.
So today I spoke with a company that does consultation for Ali Abdah. That's why I put his number out there very quickly, because we're thinking of doing something for Connected Academy. And they laid out exactly what they have done. So the dude is gonna go through his audience on either Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, and then he's got a funnel, one page that says that if you want to join the masterclass, click here. That takes you straight to a sign-up page. That page will take you to a course. This, even if Ali dies, that system will carry on. The only thing he needs to do is will it to the people in the family. That's all. The way you do it is you can have products, and that's something we are working on at the moment. Have a product that you talk about, a product that sits in the shop, shops, normal products, right? You can do that, and then you can create courses as well. Write books, amazing. And by the way, get the 4 Pillars to Success by Derrick.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we all agree that we do have dreams, right? But it takes boldness for us to be able to manifest our dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a young man that God gave him this dream. And today, we are here because of him. Let's welcome the founder of Young Professional Business World, Prophet Abdah.